Well, hi everyone, happy holidays and welcome back to PhotoshopUser TV. We are brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals, who bring you PhotoshopUser magazine, which the current issue is the very special holiday Scott Kelby's official Gonzo Holiday Gear Guide. We'll take a closer look at that a little bit later, but be sure to check that out before it's too late. Well, hi everyone, I am Corey Barker, one of the Photoshop guys, and we have a lot of really cool things to talk about today.
That's right.
I'm really excited. Of course, we got some tutorials coming at you and a few other great things, and before we get to that, we have to welcome the Photoshop girl herself, Jessica Maldonado. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, Corey. How are you? I've been good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was good. It was quiet. We kept it simple, you know. But we went and got our tree the very next day. I was very excited about that.
Oh, that's good.
And I did nothing on Black Friday, and it was awesome. I just enjoyed watching all the news. Whatever. Did you go out shopping?
No. Oh, no.
Not yet. We're doing that this weekend anyway.
Well, I've been shopping, but not on Black Friday.
No.
I'm all about
the thing is,
Cyber Monday.
There's just nothing I need that bad that I need to go out that early, or even that early the next day. They're opening up on Thanksgiving evening, so we're not here to debate the rights or wrongs of Black Friday. Let's just continue on. But we do have another Peachpit deal we're going to start talking about a little bit later. But before we do that, I'm going to dive right in because I have a beefy tutorial and I just kind of want to get excited.
I'm going to venture a guess that you have something 3D for us.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to shock everyone, but we're going to do some 3D. But we're going to cater it to the holidays because I had a lot of people writing in over on Facebook and such, what kind of holiday tutorials I actually posted what kind of holiday tutorials people want to see. And everybody's got different things. They want to see icicles and Christmas lights and all these different kinds of things. Well, one of the things I haven't done yet and found it difficult to do without 3D is really like the cool brass Christmas bells. And you would be shocked at how easy it actually is to create those entirely right here inside Photoshop CC. So let's have a look. So starting with a blank screen here, I have a document already created and it's on a black background, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new blank layer. And I'm just going to jump over here and get the pen tool. Now, when we are creating a bell, of course, it's a rounded object. So we're basically going to revolve the object that we create. So we only need to create half of it. We don't need to create the whole shape. So I'm just going to start right here at the top and just give me a little curved path here, something like this. And then we'll just kind of come right down here. And there is the shape of my bell. Now, you don't want to make a complete shape of the bell because when you revolve it, it's going to create a solid shape inside.
Okay, because I would have gone to the middle on the bottom.
So it needs to be hollowed out like a real bell, especially if you're going to be in 3D and moving it around. You have to pay attention to that space. So I'm just going to bring this up here like this and bring that curve right around there. Now, I'm not worried about that curve right there. It's really just going to be way up inside there. So, so there is the half shape of my bell. Now, it looks like the side of a girl's head or something like that, with their hair and everything like that. But what I'm going to do is actually fill this layer with black. Because black, when I create the reflection environment, it reflects things much better. So you'll see in a moment. So with that path selected, simply go to 3D, new 3D extrusion from selected path. So it goes ahead and extrudes it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off my background layer just so you can see a little bit better here. But if I rotate the object around there you see my extruded element. Now, what I'm going to do, over in the 3D panel, make sure I have the object itself selected, which is layer 1 right here. And then jump up to the Properties panel, and you're going to go to the Deform tab, which is the second tab here at the top of the Properties panel. And then down here, you'll see we have the Bend and Shear settings. So this determines how it's going to bend on an axis. Now, up here, you see this little 9 grid here. See this little 9 thing grid here? That is the deformation axis, as it's called. Really, it just anchors where it's going to revolve around.
Okay.
So we want it to anchor to the left side here. So I'm going to make that little mark there. And then if you go down here and grab the horizontal angle and just drag it this way, watch.
That's cool.
And we've got our belt. Now, you'll notice we've got a little hole in the top here. To adjust that, you simply bring the extrusion depth down until it closes, like that. So now if I rotate my object around, here we have a cool bell shape. Now we can go up inside it. See, there's our little. So that's what I was talking about. All right.
Much easier than I would have thought.
It is, isn't it? So the shape is easy enough. Now we want to make it realistic, you know. So that is, of course, the way it's lit. So let's go in, since we are now looking at the extrusion material because we extruded the object and wrapped it around, that's what we're seeing now. So I'm going to select layer 1 extrusion material here in the 3D panel and then go up here and just increase the reflection and shine to their maximum settings. Now what you're seeing reflected now is the default image-based light that is in the image. So if I select environment here and go up to the top of the properties panel, there is that little preview, and that's what we're seeing reflected in here. But that is not what I want to actually see reflected. I want it to actually reflect an environment. Now I have here a room. This is just a room I colorized. This is made up monochromatic, you know, there's really nothing special about it. But when you apply it as an environment map, let's go a little icon here next to the image-based light and choose replace texture. And then I'll go and find my little room, click open, voila. We have our shiny little bell. Now let me turn my background layer back on here. And we'll just move this up a little bit. I think I have an extra light on here. Now let's go ahead and turn that infinite light off for the moment there. There we go.
Okay.
So be careful with your default lights. So now if I go in, keep that environment selected, I can actually go over here and move the light around on the bell itself, or moving the image around on the bell. So
what's the circle we're seeing in the center?
That is the little guide, this little reflective sphere in the middle. That's really just a visual aid letting you know that the image-based light is wrapping around and creating an environment, and this just kind of gives you a small visual aid. So notice as I turn it around, it rotates.
That's neat.
So that's giving you a little, just a little positioning there. So let's actually push this back here a little bit. Let's rotate the bell itself a little bit, something like that. There we go. So now, we have that. We have to have the bow. Why? Because we can. We have to cover how they're being tied together. So I'm actually going to move this. I'm actually going to make the bow 3D. Here, watch this. So I'm going to move this up here, and let's move. All right, you know what I did? Notice how the bell is still a little bright? Because, remember I said black, a black filled object will reflect the environment better?
Yeah.
In the layers panel, you can see the layer 1 extrusion material. Same thing. I'm just going to double click on it, fill that with black, and you'll see it get a little bit better. See how I got a little bit better there?
Cool.
So that's a little trick there. So anytime you're going to 100% reflect something in an object, make sure it's got a dark fill like that, and it will reflect it much better. Okay. So doesn't that look cool? But there's a cool feature in CC I want to show you in just a second. But first, let's make the bell 3D. Now the bow. The bow I'm simply going to make a 3D postcard because it doesn't need to have volume. It just kind of has to appear there. So go to the 3D menu and choose New Mesh from Layer, Postcard. And still looks like a flat object. However, it is now in 3D space. So now I'm just going to merge that down into the same layer as the bell. When you merge 3D objects, they are still separate 3D objects. They just exist in the same layer. So just rotate this. There it is, right there. And the reason you want them to be merged together is that when you go into a render, they will actually reflect. So see, it just kind of falls in there. Ooh. Make it a little bit bigger there. So if I were to do a little test render there, you can see, voila, the bow is actually reflecting in the side of the bell there.
That's great.
Now, a couple more things and I'll finish it up. Remember that light, that infinite light that was on by default? I'm going to turn that back on. But I'm going to change it into a point light and then just position it right above the bow. So really just kind of, see how it puts a little bit of mood lighting on the bow there?
Yep.
Ooh. Like that. Now, the last thing I wanted to do. If you go and select the object, the layer 1, which is the bell, the original bell, and go into the pop-out menu here of the 3D panel, you'll see we have an item called Instance Object. Instead of, in earlier versions of Photoshop, when you wanted to have multiples of a 3D object, you would have had to make a duplicate of it and then merge it back down, and then you could have those objects interact. Now they have this where you just simply create an instance of an object, and if I go and select it, I can actually move it Oh, I'm actually making the bell, or the bow. And we'll just slide this one over. There it is. So instead of it's saving you the trouble of recreating and merging those layers together. We'll just nudge this down here a bit. And there you can see, if I do a quick render, there you can see the bow reflecting in all the bells. And there you have 3D bells, complete, right inside Photoshop.
Very
cool?
festive, very festive.
So it's really neat. I mean, it's a lot of fun to play around with different surface properties, and there's just, you know, like, I've done all kinds of, you can even do something like this, totally, using 3D in Photoshop.
You could probably do that in about 2 minutes flat.
Could probably do that while we take a quick break. But first, let's talk about the Peachpit deal we had this week. Let's have an eDeal. We have an ebook deal, of course. We have these all the time. So this one is it's a limited time offer, 40% off The Road to Seeing by Dan Winters. You can check it out at peachpit.com/KelbyTv. And if you use the coupon code KelbyTV, you can get that 40% off. And that offer ends on December 31st. All right? Sound good?
Yeah, that's
we'll
a
do
very
that
good
while we
deal.
take a break. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come right back. Jessica's got a few things, and we've got a couple of other really cool things to talk about, too. So
yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to PhotoshopUser TV. This will be our last episode for 2013, and thank you very much for your viewership and welcoming me in my first year as Photoshop girl.
Yes. What did you think so far?
Oh, it's been great.
Isn't it been fun?
I'm looking forward so much to 2014, and we'll be back in January with new episodes.
And you've been also busy working on something else of mine.
I know. I've been very, very busy on the newest version of Down and Dirty Tricks for Designer.
Yes. New book's finally coming out. But more on that later. Actually, I have a really good gift idea for you NAP members out there. If you're a NAP member and you want to give the gift of a NAP membership to a friend or family member, just go to PhotoshopUser.com, go to /promos, and then find where it says click the deal. And you will get an additional 2 months added to your membership for giving the gift of NAP to a friend or family member. So you can get all the benefits of NAP and still be in good stead with your friends.
Yeah, and a little something for yourself.
And a little something for yourself, absolutely. All right, moving on with our Photoshop tutorials. We are on to the Photoshop girl herself, and I see holiday theme.
Of course, I had to bring some holiday cheer.
Coming through here.
Not in 3D.
Of course, she's all festive here, and I've got nothing here.
Well, you have some of these, I bet, because one of our very wonderful customer service representatives, Sally, makes these for everybody every single year.
Every year.
So I've got 8 of these suckers now. They are so cool.
You kept all 8?
Yep. Well, some are at home because I still haven't unpacked all my office decorations.
Oh, funny.
But came in Friday morning, just like clockwork, new stocking from Sally.
Used to be they come with a little piece of candy in it. Yeah, lately they have not. Anyway,
you could give out candy.
Anyway, can we?
I have a little tutorial.
Please.
I'll save you from that. Okay, my tutorial is very 2D, unlike Corey's. Mine is I have a little paper design here, as if it's a cut paper Christmas card for all of you, wishing you happy holidays. And I'm going to show you a quick trick about masking and adding textures to your object. If you want to add a paper texture on top of all this cut paper looking stuff, you might be tempted to add it to your layer styles and add a texture, but as you know, these go in the order that they're stacked, and since I am using a color overlay to make everything the same color, if we use a pattern overlay down here, it's going to get hidden. So what I'm going to do is Command or Control click on the thumbnail for the first layer, and then Command-Shift-Click on all my other layers so that I'm selecting everything that is part of the design. And with the top layer of the group selected, put a mask on there. And we haven't seen anything change yet because what we are doing is masking everything in the image, but what we're going to do now is...
So you essentially made a selection of each item on the layer.
Yeah, selected everything and masked it, but what we're going to do is distress this mask, and then that will affect everything within the group. And that's something important to remember. Most of your filters work on masks as well, so that's another non-destructive way of working. So if you go into Filter Gallery and maybe add a paper texture and some torn edges, it will affect all of these groups at once. And then if you ever needed to get rid of it, all you have to do is delete that mask. So just a quick little tip and a happy holiday message.
Wow.
And you know why I didn't use my very favorite smart objects to create this?
Why?
I love, love, love smart objects, but if we made all these layers into a smart object and then did the texture on top of the smart object, it would also put the texture on our drop shadow
good
and
point.
our color overlay. So that is why.
And I noticed too, and this is something that's fairly new in Photoshop, past couple versions I think, is that you have a layer group there. You used to not be able to put a mask on a layer group like that. And that's a huge thing because now you can keep layers separate.
You can also have, since all of these layers are having the same effects, I can just have the effects up here on the group and not have to have the same group of effects on every single layer here.
Precisely. And if you move it around or change even the text, it all updates automatically on the mask. So that is awesome. It's way better than my 3D bells.
No way.
Anyway, so it's that time of the show where we have to talk about something we're all highly anticipating. Well, we can't tell you what it is. No, but what we are very close.
It's a tease. It's a tease. You'll have to come back in January.
But as we close out on another year, we'd like to thank all the members for your viewership, of course. As Jessica mentioned earlier, we've got big things coming in January, really big things. So if you've loved being a part of the community here in 2013, you're guaranteed to enjoy 2014. So be sure to check out the link right here, as you see right now. It's KelbyTraining.com, creatives/Creatives Unite.
Creatives Unite.
Creatives Unite.
And tease.
It's coming. Check out the teaser graphics, are really cool. And that's all the details we can give you. That's really all we can say right now. So we kind of built it up for nothing. No,
well,
it isn't for
nothing.
nothing.
Just a couple of weeks away, and then you'll know what we know.
It certainly isn't for nothing. It's a really big deal, and we hope you guys check it out. We're going to have a lot of great stuff coming, especially on the show here, among many other properties that we have. So be sure to tune back in. So it is on to that time of the show where we now give away stuff.
Contest time.
And because it's the finale, the season finale, I don't know why we call it seasons anyway. It's really weird. Anyway, but we have big giveaways this time because it's our series finale. So the first thing is we're actually going to give away a pass to Photoshop World Atlanta. Actually it's the very first time we're going to be in Atlanta. We always pass through Atlanta because we always going through the airport and everything like that. We never actually stay in Atlanta. For now, for the first time, we're going to actually be in Atlanta. It's got a lot of great, large roster of some of the best Photoshop and photography instructors in the world. Jessica will be there too.
I'll be teaching with Corey.
We are teaching. Yes, we are. With Felix, too. Our creative director, Felix Nelson, Jessica and I are going to be doing a special little design class, which is something that's, heavily needed at Photoshop World. It's really been a large response of people really wanting that. So be sure and check it out, PhotoshopWorld.com. And again, we're going to be giving away that. We are also giving away a NAT membership, of course. If you're not already a member. Now, you can't take this free NAT membership and just give it to somebody and get 2 months if you're already a member. You just get another year. I didn't make any sense on that at all. But we are going to give away a 1-year NAT membership and all the glorious benefits that come with it. And one more thing. I have something very special. It's hey, look. It's a book by me.
It's Corey's book.
No, now, and I'm not just here to plug my own book. Buy it now. It's Photoshop Down Dirty Tricks for Design. Anyway, no. But I am going to give this copy away, and I'm going to sign it. But what I really wanted to mention is that I just finished, I'm not kidding you, yesterday, I just finished the last tutorial in the next volume of the Down and Dirty Tricks for Designers.
I'm laying it out. And
she's currently laying it out.
It will be going to press before we go home for Christmas.
Before we go home for Christmas. So hopefully it'll be rolling out and shipping sometime in January. So be on the lookout for that very soon. I'm very excited. If you like the first one, you're going to be blown away by this one because it's some heavy stuff in there.
All brand new. It's not an update.
It's not an update. It's all brand new
tutorials.
stuff. A completely expanded 3D chapter with some really, really eye-popping effects going on in there. So I'm really excited about it. So be on the lookout for that as well. So I believe that wraps up not just the season, but the year for us.
Yeah, well, to get that stuff, they could go to KelbyTv.com/contest and go to the drop-down menu. Make sure you choose PhotoshopUser TV, leave a comment for us, and you'll be entered to win.
That's right. I got so excited about what the prizes were, I completely forgot how to tell you to win them.
How do you not get excited about those prizes? Those are good prizes.
Great stuff. All right, so as we wrap it up, I want to thank you guys once again for joining us all this year and all the great things we've had, and can't wait for you to see what we've got coming up next year. Yeah. Jessica, thank you very much.
Thank you, Corey. 2013 was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
But I'm looking forward to 2014.
It's like we've been building up for the great stuff that's coming up for next year. So
all good stuff.
Can't wait to see you guys. Have the happiest of holidays and a happy new year. We will see you next year. Bye-bye.